What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grant. You're watching Sub Urban Nerd. This channel where I give my nerd views on today's nerd news. Well, today's episode includes teaser trailers, superhero posters, and a whole lot of more superhero news. So I'm just gonna jump right into it and give you the first topic on the nerd rundown. Well, first topic on the nerd rundown is there's a new Deadpool 2 teaser trailer, and it's sort of him impersonating oh, this guy right here. He's got a bush over, he's got an afro. He's talking real gentle like this, because there's no mistakes, just happy accents. Just brushes off a little brush like this. Yeah, he talks pretty much the whole way. He doesn't go out of character, but except it's sort of different because, you know, they gotta do it the Deadpool way, and all the paint colors are named like kind of inappropriate names. And then when he's talking, he's like, how about I just whack off this brush right here? Yeah, that's real good. Yeah, he's basically just doing this whole thing, just doing the Deadpool thing, making everything perverted. And then right at the end, you get like 5 seconds or 7 of actual trailer, fast forward. But, you know, I'm gonna, like, there's always channels that just slow everything down super slow, break down the trailer, which Rockstar is a YouTube channel I watch that actually does that, and they do great breakdowns. If you want to check, I'll put a link down to some of their breakdowns that they've had in the description down below. But the trailer itself, as quick as it was, I did enjoy it. It showed a lot of fun, a lot of action, and the painting actually that I put in one of my videos earlier in the week where has Deadpool serving the Thanksgiving turkey. Well, at the end, you sort of see that poster, so it sort of makes sense because people didn't like the way it looked. It looked a little grainy, didn't look of good quality, and they didn't like the way the people's portions of heads were. But after watching this trailer, or teaser trailer, it definitely makes sense. And I'm still looking forward to Deadpool 2, and all you guys should too, because if you haven't seen Deadpool, you ain't lived life. So, on the next topic on the Nerd Rundown, animated Super Mario Bros. Movies is being developed by is in development at Illumination and Universal. Illumination, if you don't know who they are, basically they're the guys. They're the studio that brought us the Minions, Despicable Me, and Secret Life of Pets. So yeah, they've got a pretty decent track record of doing these things. But yeah, this Super Mario movie, it's gonna be animated, so that's a really good thing, because the one that came out years ago when I was so young with John Leguizamo, that was a horrible movie. In fact, that movie is the reason why we haven't had any Nintendo movies at all. After it did so bad, which I don't know if you guys want to check it out, maybe I'll put a link down in the description, because I'm pretty sure they have it on YouTube for free, because no one's paying to see that. But if it didn't do as bad as it did, or just disregard the lore or the history of Super Mario, even though there's not that much history, but you know, Plumber and all that, then try to like make it modern and grinchy, it might, like, Nintendo still would be trying to make money off of movies, but because he did so horrible, it was so horribly received by like everybody, not just critics, fans, nobody liked this movie. So therefore, like, Nintendo was like, you know what? We ain't doing this no more. So they stepped away from the game. They have not done any Nintendo movies. And they have so many characters. Yo, everybody would have loved to have a Zelda. Zelda would have been like, it would have been like Lord of the Rings meets like Harry Potter type of thing, but except with a sword. It's so full of so much mythology, and like the games are so engaging that, yo, they could have made a movie, and that, because we're struggling to get a video game adaptation that's great. And I think it probably would happen years ago if they were able to make a Zelda movie, because there was another thing. Zelda, they did have a Zelda animated series along with it, you know, that was horrible too. But as far as movies go, it's because of Super Mario why we haven't had any Nintendo movies. So but they're basically Illumination, Mac Guff. The studio is in Paris, and they're in early stages of development with no release date. So they're still trying to talk this thing out, trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. But they're pretty much got on lock that they're going to be making Super Mario Bros. Movie. Animated, not live action, because we don't need live action. Animated because, like World of Warcraft. that was sort of live action and animated, but we don't need that for the plumbers. We just want a good story, and they could do it because, like I said, if they've done it, we've done it with Despicable Me, because it's Despicable Me 1 and 2 very well received. Despicable 3 not so much, but you've got the Minions. The little kids love the Minions. You know what I'm saying? Secret Life of Pets. Kids loved Secret Life of Pets. Critics and not everybody loved it. I sort of liked it, but there was some things where I'm like, I don't understand. But regardless of the fact, hopefully they make a pretty decent Super Mario Brothers movies. And if all you kids that like that thing, hey, hopefully it'll be good for you. Next, I'm going to talk about the CW. CW, if you haven't been watching any of the CW superhero shows like Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, The Legend of Tomorrow, well, I've kind of fell off the track and I need to get back on. I need to watch these episodes to catch back up. But they're doing, every year they do like a crossover. This year it's going to be Crisis on Earth X. So from what I hear, the synopsis basically they're going to be fighting evil versions of themselves, which they sort of did with Black Canary. Siren, I believe is her name. But it's going to be bad versions of them, another dimension where it's going to be a group of them teamed together, but it's bad versions, which is it seems like it definitely could be good, because where do you go after you've done like the whole alien invasion and going at, like, you know what I'm saying, like it definitely could be something really good and really great. So I'm definitely going to try and see if I can catch up before this happens. And all you people that actually watch the show, you got something else to look forward to. Next we have Sebastian Stan. He kind of hints that Steve Rogers could be Nomad. And if you guys don't know, at some point Steve Rogers stopped being Captain America, which is sort of like what happened at the end of Civil War. And he took on a persona of a character or hero named Nomad, and just worked outside the legal kind of confines of the government and sort of did his thing. And they're saying that that's probably what's going to happen, which, if that happens, great. Because you figure by the end of Infinity Wars, Steve Rogers, maybe he's dead. Maybe Bucky takes over the mantle of Captain America, because that's happened in the comic books. Or Falcon, he took over as Steve Rogers as far as Captain America as well. So we'll see if that happens. But since Sebastian Stan, who is the Winter Soldier with the iron arm, he mentioned it, so he might have a little insider scoop on it. So I'm gonna take him at his word and see if it goes down that way. Next, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is there was two things. Yesterday I kind of hinted on the Umbrella Academy, but I'm gonna first talk about this one thing, which is Hulu. Hulu, I'm gonna put down the description. Hulu came out with a bunch of posters and character posters for their characters. If you don't know who the Runaways are, it's for the Runaways is on Hulu. And if you don't know who they are, I'm just giving you a quick rundown of it, because I don't know too much about them. So I did a little bit of research. And basically, this is a comic book about a bunch of kids who their parents meet up once a year to go to this little thing. So and then the kids follow their parents and find out that the parents are like this mafia of super bad guys, where it's a mafia evil organization, sort of like the Legion of Doom, but except they're called the Pride, and it's consisted of time travelers, dark wizards, mad scientists, alien invaders, telepathic mutants, and then the kids are freaking out, and then they find out that they have the abilities too. Like basically everything that the parents have, they realize. So as far as the kids, they steal. So one of them steals weapons and resources from them, and they go and they steal, like one steals gloves from the future parents. The other one finds out that they're a telepath. The other one finds out that there's they have super strength and they can mutate, have super strength, and like the other one finds out that they're an alien because of their parent. So as far as that goes, then they use all that stuff, and then they go and fight their parents and defeat them, and then they go on, and then in the place of their parents, a bunch of other villains or bad guys or superpowers try and fill in the void. So then that's how this comic book keeps going on. So if you didn't know what the Runaways were, basically it's a bunch of kids who who are descendants of evil super villains, and they use what they realize is they have the same powers, and they take some of the technology, whatever, and then they fight their parents, beat them, and they become the new superheroes of this world. So that's pretty much a rundown of the Runaways. And I'm gonna, like I said, I put down in the description all the posters and a link to all the description, link in the description to all the posters and all the things, so you guys can see a little bit more about this. And if you want to check it out, hey, there's always Wikipedia. So that's about it for that. Next we have what I wanted to talk about with the Umbrella Academy, which is, it's really weird, and it's kind of hard to how to summarize, but I'm gonna try and do it right. All right. Umbrella Academy takes place in an alternate universe where John F. Kennedy was not killed. So, and then it's primarily you following this this family, or dysfunctional superhero family, sort of like let's say the Fantastic Four, where they all they love each other but they just don't get along. So then pretty much what happens is, in an epic boxing match or whatever, in the last epic clash, this universe just sends ripples through the universe. And 43 babies are implanted in random women. So these women don't have, not even implanted, they just basically pop up like a Virgin Mary type of thing. So then you got all these women that are pregnant by these superpowered babies, and they don't realize they have them. So then when they're born, they come out, and they're collected by this guy who's like, let's not say the god or whatever, but his name is Sir Reginald Hargreaves, aka the Monocle, he basically adopts all these kids and trains them, and it's sort of like Professor X, I guess. And this is pretty much what Umbrella Academy is these kids are looked at as the Messiah, so that's why it's hard to explain. A super battle, epic blast, ripple, impregnated random women, 43 super babies. They're born. Guy collects them after a while, and then raises them to use their abilities to protect the world and save it eventually. That's the best I could do. Sorry, but it's a weird story, and I tried to make it as simple as possible. So if you're interested in it, Ellen Page is going to be one of the stars of the show, and Ellen Page is a great actress. So she's done a lot of things, all these different things. She's actually was Ellie from if you ever played the game Last of Us, yeah, I believe that was her. So she's definitely on par with the top tier as far as actresses. So that's pretty much it. One last thing, fun fact. Has nothing really to do with superheroes or anything like that, but if you guys like the movie Get Out, which was an amazing kind of horror flick that a lot of people love, well, the studios are pushing for it to be a comedy, pushing it as a comedy for nominations, so they can get movies, so they can get nominations or whatever. Because once you're in the industry, getting a nomination for the Oscars, that's all you need. Oscar nominated this, Oscar nominated this. In fact, Suicide Squad is an Oscar-winning film. They won Best Costume Design. So they have an Oscar for that film. Get that, right? So anyways, and then Martian won a couple years ago for comedy, just because it had comedy elements, which was a whole bunch of crap. But regardless of fact, I think, like I said, Thor Ragnarok should win for Best Comedy this year if they're pushing all these other things, you know what I'm saying? Because that movie's funny, just in general, a funny movie. So sorry for going on that rant. But thank you for watching this episode. Remember to like and share and tell everybody about this. Remember, subscribe over here. Check out yesterday's Nerd News and check out the playlist. So thank you for watching. Remember, I'm Wes Grant. You've just been nerdified, and I'll see you tomorrow.